So up on the screen, we've got a graph here, and it's going to tell us what mortgage rates have looked like over the last year. And what you get a sense of really quickly is how fast they've gone up in such a short period of time. And it's no wonder why we have as much volatility and questions in our market that we do. So looking on the screen here, back in January, rates were down just a little bit over 3% at 3.22%, and you started to see them start to climb, right? By the end of February, we're already close to 4% at 3.89. Into March, we're into the 4% range. We get into May, we're already in the mid fives at 5.3%. We start to spike in late June. June 23rd, we're at about 5.81, and then it started to come down, and you see a little bit more volatility. And over the last week, we've seen even more of that as rates have started to come back up. Because at one point, we dipped down into that 4% range, as you can see at the very early part of August. Now, we hear this all the time. Inflation is the enemy of interest rates, and we know that inflation is a problem that the Federal Reserve is trying to fix. It's not going to have an overnight solution. As much as we want that to be the case, that is just not going to happen. So they're taking measures to get inflation under control, and what we can expect hopefully is as they get inflation under control, we will start to see the easing of interest rates, aka interest rates starting to move down. So the next slide I'm going to show you is actually a projection, right? Where are rates expected to go? And this isn't my projection, guys. This is, leading experts. We've got Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, MBA, NAR. They're all coming out and saying this is what we think is going to happen with rates over the next 4 quarters. So the end of 2022 and then the first 3 quarters of 2023. And the average of all 4 of those major players shows that rates are scheduled to come down, or at least expected to come down. 5.4% stabilize towards the end of this year, quarter 4. Moving down into quarter 1 from 5.4 down to 5.3. Moving down again another 0.1% down to 5.2% by the end of quarter 2 in 2023. And then around this time next year, we actually are expected to see rates dip back down into that 4% range, which is really encouraging. Now, we know this is not a for sure thing. We know that nobody has a crystal ball. But when we're paying attention to some of the smartest minds, we get a sense of what they're thinking, and we have a little bit of a roadmap so we can start to plan and make some decisions. So what does this mean, right? I'm going to put a quote up here, and this quote is from Lisa Sturdivant, who's a housing economist, and she says, at the end of the summer lull, and as mortgage rates start to stabilize, we may see a return of buyers and a relatively strong fall housing market. So here's my 2 cents, guys. We know that as mortgage rates have gone up, buyers have gotten a little uneasy. Certainly the affordability aspect has been changed, and we saw some buyers move out of the market into a wait and see kind of area. As rates start to stabilize and even may come down a little bit, you're going to see some of those buyers re-enter the market and pick up where they left off, which is encouraging, and which is why Lisa and others believe that we may see a particularly stronger fall in the housing market, because we're going to see some of those buyers come back as a result.